miracle work, promise me, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. For every prayer that I've prayed that you've answered, I say, miracle work, promise me, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. We're gonna say this again. Say that is who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are.
But let's make a love to the servant. The reason why he gave to the servant because he wanted him to serve. And you understand? He didn't give it to any other people. See, when we talk about the kingdom of heaven, God bless you tonight for the privilege and an honor to share the word of the Lord with you tonight. My name is Randolph Mantin, president of H Singles Academy, and I'm privileged, really honored to share the word of God with you. I believe that tonight we are going to learn a whole lot of things that is going to equip you and empower you to bring you to a place where you are really prepared to get into marriage. I really believe that there's a lot of singles in the church who need the right instructions. They need the mentorship. They need the transformative truth that will literally prepare them to enter into the relationship that will enrich their destiny, empower them for them to fulfill their life mandate. And today we really want to talk about it because I've noticed that if we do not, then it's going to cause a lot of heartache in the house. It's going to open the church into a whole lot of dilemmas and scenarios that is not healthy. So we need to really talk about this. So today I'm going to spend some time with everyone, and if you are single or maybe you are divorced, this is for you. Now I want you to take a moment and also share the videos, invite your friends and family, those that you know need the message. Like there's some people who are even married, they will need this message because it's going to open them to a realm of revelation that will literally liberate their marriage, their relationship into a new dimension of ecstasy and blissfulness in God. So if you know anybody who is married, get them on board. Although this particular section is for singles. So see whether you can get everybody on board so we can really get into God's word. And I want it to be so interactive. So if it's possible, take your notebook, your pen, write down some questions. And as I'm teaching, I'll be looking at my comment box to answer some questions. So if you have any questions concerning relationship, concerning how to be able to find out your destiny mate, your eligible partner for marriage, don't forget that is what we are dealing with tonight. We want to talk about it. We want to interact. We want to find ways and means to get into it. Now, I have just started H Singles Academy, and I'm mentoring and equipping singles to find their destiny mate. If you join, you are going to really learn all the strategies to get you married this year. I'm going to show you all the strategies that is necessary not to just get into marriage, but to transform you, expose your divine potential, enrich you, give you all the necessary things to activate your divine calling. There are things you must do to make sure that when you enter into the marriage, you are an asset. Not somebody who's going to be tolerated in the relationship, but you are bringing something to the table that makes you so invaluable. You're becoming irresistible to your partner. So I want to let you know. I'll share all the details later on when we begin to talk about it. But right now we want to get ready to get into God's word to find out what must we do to be able to find the right mate and get hitched and then get into marriage. Now, if you are on, please invite your friends and family, get them on board so that they can also participate in our interactive session. I see Ashley. Ashley, God bless you. I think you're watching from, is it Calgary? No, you're watching from Canada. If you are watching, you can let me know where you're watching from. I'll definitely acknowledge you. I see Becky. Becky, God bless you for showing up. I see Pamela Weldon. What a privilege to have you. I see Francis Della. Francis, wow, it's been a while. Francis Della, God bless you. Now, if you are on, please invite your friends and family to join us. Today we are talking about how to find the right person, the right mate for that blissful marriage, that relationship that you really want. So we want to talk about it today so that we can really prepare every one of you to enter into a relationship that will literally get you into that blissful relationship and marriage that you want. Okay. Today I want to start talking about the relevance, why we should even think about this subject. There's a lot of people in our churches right now who are mature now, who are at the ripe age for marriage, and it seems like they don't have the right people, the eligible partners, people the kind of people who are marriage material, and so they are frustrated. They pursue God, and yes, within the context of their heart, they feel lonely. They are alone. And this literally opens them up to a whole lot of attacks. Sometimes they go through low self-esteem. Sometimes they have to create things to make themselves happy. There's a whole lot of things that they are exposed to, become susceptible to it, just because of them being alone, lonely. And sometimes because they are alone, the enemy opens them up to attacks of loneliness. And some of these people are being pressurized to enter into illicit relationship that is not conducive and very good for their faith. And so there's a lot of people in our churches right now who are into illicit relationship because they don't know what to do. It's so interesting. There's a text in the Bible that I want to share with you in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1. The Bible says, now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Now, the Corinthian church wrote to Paul concerning some of these things, and he's replying to tell them it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Now, remember, I say it is good for a man not to touch a woman. He never said it is good. It's bad for a husband not to touch the wife. There's a difference. If you are a man, and you are not married to the woman, it's not good for you to touch her. And when I say touch, I mean touch. Some of you, you are not into intercourse, but some of the touching is crazy and it's not right. And so you are assuming that, and that is your argument. That as long as I've not had intercourse with her, that means I'm not sleeping with her, but that is a lie from the pit of hell. And so we have a lot of people into illicit relationship with some profane touching, and yet still they don't feel convicted. They have convinced themselves that they can get away with it because as long as they have not had any intercourse, it's not a sin. But it's like even if you imagine, see the person and you have imagination in your heart that you're sleeping or having a touch with her, that is even a sin. How much more you now into heavy petting? That is wrong. All right. So the touch really has all the connotation to do with what kind of sex apart from intercourse. So oral sex is part of it. You touching, rubbing, and I don't know what terminology they use right now. It's all a sin. So you have to understand that. It is good for a man not to touch a woman. You now put that definition in the touch. Now, is it right for us to case if we are not married? Personally, I feel like you don't have to get involved with. There's nothing in the Bible that specifically says that casing is a sin. But I will tell you, why will you provoke yourself into something that you're not ready for? Why will you ignite something in you that is going to put you in trouble? So I'm not going to talk about that. But verse 2 says, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. And so Paul is saying something that is very interesting. He said to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Now it's so interesting that Paul, who is so spiritual, the one who's been to the third heavens, who was used by God to write the contents of the New Testament, is really talking about the solution to fornication. I would have assumed that to abstain, to literally get rid of fornication in your life, you need to pray, fast, and be so spiritual, and then it's going to literally quench that flame of lust that has literally ignited your life. But Paul is saying that to avoid fornication, get married. It's so interesting. Now, I'm not saying that the purpose of marriage is for you to abstain from fornication alone, but to answer the problem of fornication, marriage is the key. And so you're going to notice that we are praying and doing things in the church, hoping and wishing that our spirituality will quench the natural passions in a mature man or woman. It's like you saying that I'm going to pray to come to a place where I don't feel hungry anymore. So your spirituality does not dehumanize you. And the more you pray, the more you see God, the more you do the things of the Spirit, the more human you're going to become. And so God is not going to allow you to use your spiritual pursuit to dehumanize your natural traits. And so Paul is saying that for you to what? Avoid fornication. And so if we don't prepare the singles in the church to get married, then we are saying we don't want to avoid fornication. It is going to be prevalent in the church. It's going to really begin to plague the church with immorality and quench the flow of the Holy Spirit. That is why we need to talk about it and find ways and means to deal with it, because there's a lot of people who are at the mature age, the ripe age for marriage, and yet still they don't know what to do because we don't talk about it. They sit in the church, they don't have the money for the wedding, they don't have the eligible partners that they want to get married to. There's a scarcity of good people for marriage material kind of people. So they sit in the church and they're frustrated and they pursue the things of God and they keep on going through all this routine. And the Bible is saying to avoid fornication. To avoid fornication, let everyone have their partner. If you're a woman, get your husband. If you're a man, get your wife. And so I'm trying to say right now that if we are going to keep the morality of the church, impurity, then we need to now begin to train the people, talk to them, the youth, the singles, and find ways and means to prepare them to get into marriage. Because if they don't get into marriage, their spirituality is not going to quench the hunger for sex. The more they grow, their hormones, their passion, it is natural. Please let me say it again. God is not going to take away your naturalness just because of your pursuit of spirituality. The mere fact that you love God does not mean that you are not human being anymore. And so we have people who really love God, but because they have not got married yet, the flame, the passion, the desire for sex is literally, they are struggling because they don't know what to do. So what must we do? How do we literally, the Bible says, how do we come to a place where we avoid fornication? Paul, the spiritual Paul, the apostle Paul, is saying, if you want to avoid fornication, then let every man have his wife, and let every woman have her own husband. And I know some of you, you've been thinking that maybe you can do a lot of fasting and pray more and maybe do some things and it will keep you. Yeah, there are things that will keep you. I'm not saying that just because you are not married, you can't keep yourself. Well, what I'm saying is you will keep yourself, but it's never going to quench the raging flame of desire in you because it is part of your natural humanity. It is part of you. All right. I'll give you a story. When you look at John chapter 4, verse 6, we find out Jesus went to Samaria to talk to the Samaritan woman, and they began to interact, and the interaction now got to the topic of worship. And you will find out that this lady was really passionate about worship. When he noticed that Jesus was the Messiah, the first question he wanted to talk about was worship. He didn't even talk about blessing. He didn't talk about breakthrough, relationship. The first thing she began to ask the Lord was about worship. That was the prevalent desire of her heart to worship right. She was a passionate woman, a woman who was determined to worship right. And yes, still, she was plagued with an illicit relationship. She was in an immoral lifestyle. And so Jesus now begin to talk about worship with her. Then Jesus says to her, now, this woman wanted to go to the next level, to embrace the living water, to accept the flow of the Spirit, to be able to transcend his Samaritan ethnicity and enter into a dimension where she can experience the reality of worship. At that juncture, Jesus stops everything, and the Lord asks her this question: where is your husband? Go bring your husband. Now think about it. She has decided she wants the living waters. She has decided she wants to experience true worship. She has decided that she wants to experience a dimension of God that God wants us to get. But there is a problem. Relationship. She was not in the right moral state when it comes to relationship. How many of you watching me right now have such a passion for God? You are determined to pursue the things of your calling. You want to do the things of the Spirit. But when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to your sexuality, when it comes to you are plagued with lust, you are suffering, you trying to you are trying to quench that fire, but you cannot. You don't know what to do. This woman was so full of passion for worship, and yes, she has had 5 men. The one that she was with her now, she was not married to him. And so they were committing fornication. She was not married. And yet still in her heart, she has a passion for worship. What are we doing right now to liberate the people in the church so that they can come into the fullness of their destiny and be able to drink from the well of the Holy Spirit and fulfill their purpose in God? How many singers are sleeping around just because they don't have their husbands yet? How many intercessors are in illicit relationship? How many pastors and preachers are plagued with sin? How many of them are going through serious sexual problems serious sexual challenges just because we have not really dealt with it. We have not confronted this issue to understand, to abstain from fornication. Let every man has his own wife, and every woman have your own husband. And so you notice that Jesus, to literally take the Samaritan woman to the next dimension to experience the what he was talking about, he said, go bring your husband. He confronted the woman to deal with the sin so that she will literally come to the transformation, to repent and to cleanse her life so that she can experience what God has promised her. Today, I'm asking you, what kind of relationship are you in that is plaguing you from the excellence of what God has promised you? What kind of things are you doing? How many of you are masturbating, getting into oral sex? How many of you are participating in things that you know it is immoral? You are into heavy petting. You are doing things you have no business doing. And yet still nobody has the audacity to confront you. So you are hiding in the hypocrisy of your spirituality, but you know your life is not right. And you keep on confessing your sins, and you repeat it again, and confess your sins and you repeat it again, and you don't know what to do. You need deliverance. You need help. And so today, the reason why I want to talk about this, I want you to get ready to prepare yourself to enter into that dimension that you are fully finished with all the concepts, the principles of God, so you can get married. Because if you don't get married, you will be under the pressure of the enemy, and if you are not careful, you become susceptible to the plagues of immorality. You will suffer from it. So what can we do to fix that? That's what we're talking about today. What must we do to be able to bring ourselves to a place where we experience that transformation? All right. Now, we have to now ask ourselves, why is it a lot of people in the church? Why is it that people are struggling to find the right mate? Well, what must they do? See, one of the first things I can say that has hindered you from getting into the relationship that you want is that many believers, especially believers, of course I'm a Christian, I'm a pastor, so I have to talk about believers. Many believers have assumed that they must be passive and wait for the momentous opportunity of meeting the right person, and maybe it will happen. So in their assumption, they are waiting for God. They are hoping that they will meet the right person. And so they have allocated such opportunity to lack. They are hoping and wishing that probably they will go somewhere, maybe sometime, somehow, they will meet somebody. But you have to understand that that is wrong. The Bible says that a man that founded a wife founded a good thing. And so if you are going to get a wife, then you need to find the wife. And so your passivity, you sitting down and not doing nothing, and you being passive, is not going to get you into that relationship. And so you need to have a determination. You must decide. You must not think that it will just happen to you, because you waiting for the right partner and waiting, you're going to wait for a long time, and it's not God who has put you into that waiting pattern. You must be intentional. You must have a plan. You must have a strategy. You must have a means by which you go after what you want. Now, let me just clarify this before we go on. When I say find a person, the right person for you, as Christians, we don't do it like the world does it. And I'm going to share that with you at a minute. You have to understand, it is the will of God for you to be intentional in your finding. You don't have to sit down and be passive and wait for it to happen to you. You have to have a plan. You must be intentional. A man founded a wife. And so if you are not finding, how are you going to locate the partner for you? And so you sit down and you say you are waiting for God. And you keep on waiting for God. And you keep on waiting for God, and nothing is happening. Now, my question is, when are you going to wake up and understand that the delay is not from God? You are procrastinating that blissful relationship that God has ordained for you, because you are thinking that if it is the will of God, then God will bring the person to me. That is wrong. Now, let me just clarify this. We notice in Genesis chapter 2, from verse 18, we notice that God comes to Adam and then says to Adam, it is not good for you to be alone. It's not good for you to be alone. So I will give you a help meet for you. I will make you a help meet for you. Now remember what God is saying to Adam. He was talking about a woman who's going to be a help meet for him. This woman was not created yet. There was no woman in the whole world. But right after that, Adam was sent on an assignment to name all the animals. And within the context of that assignment was the opportunity to also look, find, and search for his wife. And so God gave him a dual assignment to name the animals. And whilst he was naming that, he was searching among the animals to see whether he will find the wife. And so you're going to notice that there was no woman in the whole world yet. So why was he seeking or searching for a wife? And so the finding is not necessarily to just get the woman or the man. The finding has much more impartation. There's much more to it than you locating the person. The finding is also a preparation that is going to equip you and to transform you so that when you get into the relationship, you will value, you will know how to treat the person. So don't trust a man or a woman who was not in the position of pursuit, who was not seeking, finding, doing something to pick the right person that he wants or she wants for a relationship. So what I'm saying to you today is this. Many of you are not married yet because you are not searching. Let me say it again. Many of you are not married yet because you are not searching. And if you are searching, maybe you are searching wrong. So we are going to talk about, in H Academy, I will give you the divine blueprint, the strategies, the concepts, the very, very strategic. It's very innovative that you can apply in your life. You can literally begin immediately. So that when you use it, you will literally, it's like a GPS. You will find the person that God has ordained for you. You will know. Now, how do you know? Because it is a strategy from the Lord. It's from the Bible. And when you notice that and you begin to apply it, it will get you into the locality, the place where you'll find the person that God has ordained for you. So it's part of the H Academy training. Now, you have to understand. So I'm saying the reason why you have not found your mate yet, one, is because you are not seeking, you are not searching, you are not engaged, you are not, it is not intentional for you. You are passive, you are waiting, you are expecting a miraculous favor, you are hoping that there will be a momentous opportunity, a chance. That is wrong. Don't do that, because if you do that, 5 years, 10 years, you will still be single. And you'll be blaming God for giving you a prophecy and nothing is happening. No, you need to engage. You must have a strategy, a GPS direction. You must have something that you can apply. And that's what we teach in, we teach that in H Academy. So please make up your mind that you cannot just sit down and expect that the marriage will just happen to you. Marriage does not just happen. Marriage is for people who are intentionally looking according to their destiny to find the person that God has ordained for them. So that is what we do. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is why are you single? See, remember, the Bible says a man founded a wife and founded a good thing. A man founded a wife and founded a good thing. So number two, you have to understand that until you become wife or husband material, you cannot be located by your partner. So transformation is necessary for you to be aligned and rightly positioned to be found. Let me say it again. You need to become transformed. You have to become a wife, not a woman. See, you can be a pretty woman with a beautiful face, really nice body, and yet still you are not a wife. You must become a wife before you enter into the marriage. So a man founded a wife. He founded good thing. Are you getting me? And so if you are not a husband yet, and yes, you want to marry, see, There are many people who want to get into relationship, but they are so selfish. They are still into themselves. They want a singular lifestyle. They want a single relationship in the context of marriage. They want to fulfill their own selfish ambition, go after their own agenda. They are not willing to sacrifice so that they can be able to literally amalgamate. They literally combine and become unified. That unity of marriage, they don't want it. So they want to enter into the marriage just because there's a part of the marriage that they want that benefits, but they don't want the total dedication into the marriage. That is wrong. You have to become a wife. You have to become a husband. It says a man will find a wife. When you go to Proverbs 31, it says, who can find a virtuous woman? Who? What kind of man has been so transformed, rightly positioned in his morality and consciousness and his maturity and perception, and has such a value system to be able to detect and locate this virtuous woman so that they can go, who can find? It's not everybody who can find, because the compass, the GPS that will help you to find such a virtuous woman is really based on the kind of person you are. Who can find? See, many of you are focusing on the direction, the locality, but the locality is hidden in the context of your personality. Who you are will determine who you are going to get. Are you getting me? Let me say it again. Who you are will determine what you are going to get. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. So one thing we have to the number two. The reason why you're not married yet because you're not being transformed yet. You don't want to change. You still have that faulty character. You are still insensitive. You are somebody who is selfish, don't know how to talk, don't know how to keep yourself, don't know how to treat people. You have no submissive spirit. I'm talking about some things you need to watch. You don't have something that the person will look at you and say, my God, this person has such a personality, a character, that I can relate with such a person all day long, and we match. So you have to watch yourself. If you really want a marriage, then there are some things you need to work on your personality. Some of you are too needy because you don't know your self-worth. You are too needy. It's like you don't mind selling yourself for cheap, even for nothing. Why? Because you are so hungry for relationship to the extent that you don't care about anything. You just want the relationship, and it's wrong. You don't value yourself that you are willing to give yourself out for free. And I'm not saying that somebody has to pay you to get into marriage, but what I'm trying to say, what is your self-worth? What do you know who you are? Do you understand the value of your destiny? Have you come to the awakening to the investment that God has placed within you that you can bring to the marriage? And some of you don't know it. You don't even know your destiny. Let me say this. If you don't know your destiny and your call, you are not ripe. You are not ready for marriage. Until you come to the awakening of the value of your destiny, you are not prepared for marriage yet. You must know who you are before you can get into the marriage. So I don't want you entering into the relationship as a woman and trying to become like a man. Huh? You don't need to behave like a man. Huh? Are you understand what I'm talking about? You don't need to have the mindset of a man. I don't care the books you read. Please hear me very carefully. You need to understand, be the woman that God has ordained for you. Know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, I promise you, you enter into the marriage and you are completely lost. You're lost. You don't know what to do. All right? Number 3, the reason why many of you are not married is this. I'm still giving you the points. The first one I was saying was that you are not seeking, you are not searching, it is not intention. Number 2, I said that you must be transformed. You must be transformed. Number 3 is you must literally translate your potential to value, so that when you come into the relationship, you are something of value that contributes to the unity of marriage. All right? You must bring. Now, I'm not talking about money. You must bring something of value. A virtuous woman who can find for her price is far above rubies. Now, if the man or the woman does not see a value that will transcend what she or he has as a single person, why do they have to invest in you for a relationship? And some of you, let me say this, even the value of your virginity or your individualism, you gave it out for free. You have been giving the car out. Why should he pay for the milk? Are you understand that? The man is already sleeping with you now. Or are you getting what I'm talking about? You gave the car out for free. Now, why should he pay for the milk? What I'm saying is, it's not only your sexuality. I'm talking about every context of who you are. What value have you developed? What are you bringing to the table? Remember, marriage is really not just based on love. Marriage is based on partnership, and partnership is like business partnership. That everybody must bring something to the table to make sure that the business functions and operates well. What are you bringing to the table? And so we have singles who want to get married, but they are not trained. They don't have even the knowledge yet. They don't have the skill set. They don't know a whole lot of stuff, but they want to get into a relationship. Just because they have beautiful bodies. The only thing they can provide in a relationship is to sleep and to bring the expertise of intercourse. That is not marriage alone. That alone will not work. Your beautiful self alone will not work. The mere fact that you are sexy alone will not work. After the intercourse, what are you going to use to sustain the relationship? What do you contribute to the relationship in such a way that there will be stability in the marriage? And so there are many of you, if the person comes into your life, he can do without you. He doesn't, there's nothing in your life that urges him to say that, wow, I can't live another day without this woman. I need this woman to, you know what I'm talking about? Because there's no value. He doesn't see that value yet. And so my question is, what are you developing as your capacity to be able to bring to the marriage table so that when the person comes in your life, you have something of value? It is the value that you have that will attract him or her and keep you. Your value can be in your beauty, the way you carry yourself, the way you talk, the way your personality, the value of money, the businesses you have, the vision that you carry. And in H Academy, I'm going to help you to translate your potential, your gift, and your talents into something of value for your life. If you are a writer, then I have to teach you to be an author. If you have the skill for entrepreneurship, I need to train you. You don't just get into marriage with empty hands. What do you bring to the table? What do you have? Do you have the skill set? Do you have the knowledge? Do you have the personality? Do you have the right kind of investment? Do you have what it takes to bring something to the table? Now, please hear me. I'm not really talking about money. I'm talking about value. Because if you don't have no value, you're not ready. The Bible says in New Testament, Jesus says something, so he says that God will not cast his pearls before swine. He will not cast his pearls. And so when he's talking about casting his pearls, he's really talking about value. The swine, which is the pig, has no sense of value of the pearl. The pearl is really talking about something that is of value. And God is saying that if I've developed somebody, I've transformed the person to a virtuous woman whose price is far above the pearl, I am not going to cast such a person, you understand, to a pig who doesn't see the value. And so even if you're a lover of God, God is not going to get you exposed to people who have no value, no sense of value. He will not cast his pearls before swine. And so God is saying, if the person transformed from a swine to become the right person, then God is saying, then I will cast my pearls. In the olden days, when you go to the market and they want to buy this pearl, they take it out of the bag and they cast it out on the mat, and people look through it and pick what they want. And so the casting out of the pearls It's like you literally putting it out of the person to see the value. What I'm saying to you, many of you have no value. What value do you have? What can you bring to the table? So the reason why the man can do without you is because the only value you have is to shake your behind and shake your body and act and put a lot of makeup on your face with a fake eyelids. No. That is not value. Beauty is vain. Beauty alone will not do. You can't keep the man with just the beauty. So what are you going to do? What value do you have? You need to sit down and ask yourself, what is your destiny? What is your purpose? What are you called to do? What is your skill set? And let's begin to refine it. Well, maybe you need to be trained. You need to get information. Some of you don't even know how to cook. Even if we tell you to cook rice, you mess it up. You have no experience in cooking. Some of you don't even know how to clean yourself, even to clean somebody's house. You don't know how to wash. You can't even keep your own body right. Somebody has to talk about it. Praise the Lord. So the reason why you're still not married yet is because the person can do without you. The person can do without you. And so if I am preparing you and mentoring you in H Academy, one of the things I'm going to do is to really take you through a prophetic consultation and then begin to excavate all the treasures of God in your destiny, in your purpose, awaken you to the skill set you carry, and then begin to teach you how to refine it and to make it so valuable in the context of the person you want to get married. You see, don't just accept anybody that says, you have to decide who you really want. The Bible says, I will give you a help. Now, my question is, are you ready to offer the help to the partner who is coming into your life? And the help you are offering is really based on the partner you have decided to choose. And you understand what I'm talking about? So it's not just everybody that comes along and says, listen, it's my destiny partner. No. You are supposed to be fully equipped, furnished with the tools of the help that will help you to be able to locate the person. When the person look at the kind of help you want to bring into his life, you become irresistible and the person can say no. Right now, the men who are coming to you, they just want to sleep with you because of your good body, nice shape. That's all they want to get into. There is nothing about you that will keep them. And when they get the cow, they won't pay for the milk because they got it now. They've been touching stuff they have no business touching. And so the moment they get it, you see that they jump to another woman and you get so frustrated, discouraged, and you are so hurt because the only reason why the man hung around was your body. And when he got it, that was it. So the question is, what do you have to bring to the table? What do you have? What is the value of your life? Can the man come into your life and say, I can't do without you? You are so instrumental to my success. You are so necessary for my future. You are the component of my design that I can't do without. You are the person I need so much to the extent that without you, I can't find. You see what I'm talking about? When Adam got to know Eve, listen to what Adam said. He says, you are bone of my bone. Do you know what he's saying? That you are so part of my makeup that without you, my whole structure will collapse. You are bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. The outward beauty and expression of my humanity is also related to who you are. You are flesh of my flesh. That is what he was saying. He was saying to Eve, I can't do without you. I need you to fulfill my destiny. If the person can do without you, then you are not ready for the marriage. That is where you need to now sit down and evaluate yourself. What can you do to become a helper to the kind of man or woman that you are looking for? If you have not got that established, how dare you think that you are ready for marriage just because you are horny, you are sexual, you have a good body? That does not qualify you for marriage yet. You are not a helper yet. Rather, you are a complainer, a problem giver. You are always doing things that is not going to help anybody. You are rather detrimental to somebody's destiny. You are not qualified. You are not qualified. Amen. I hope you are getting something. Now, the next thing I want to talk about why you are not married is spiritual bondage. See, you have to understand that there are covenants in families that has been enacted and established, and some of this covenant has got some men and women into spiritual marriages that they don't even know. So they don't, anytime there's a relationship come out, these demons now begin to interfere and to manifest and push the people away. And so you're going to notice that no matter what you do, it has become an oppression. Sometimes when you are so close to the relationship, you're going to the next level, you yourself misbehave, do things you have no business doing, and even drive away the man. Don't you know where there's a demon that is oppressing you for you to act out a behavior that will literally break the relationship? You need deliverance. And there's some of you who also slept with other women or men in the past who are literally demonic, or they have covenants in their family that is demonic, and it's open you up because of the soul ties, and demons have access into your life, and they are plaguing your life, and you're not getting the right marriage. So you need deliverance. Those of you who slept around and you never went through deliverance, the mere fact that you repented does not mean that demons are not already in there. The moment you connected to the person, you have connected to that person with every partner that he has slept with. Now, if he has slept with 1,000 men, women, that means every woman with their demons has access into your soul now. Because the moment you slept with the person, your soul was knit. There was a soul tie. And that soul now tie becomes an open door for the demon that enters into that person and enters to everyone is connected to, and they have access into it. It is going to plague and oppress you. Some people are not married right now because of the soul ties, because of demonic oppression, because of witchcraft oppression. You need deliverance. You need that thing broken over your life. All right? If it's not broken, you get stuck. Are you all understand what I'm talking about? So we're still talking. We're talking about how do you, why is it that a lot of people in the church are not married? That's what we're talking about. The next point I want to talk about is the Bible says when a man finds a wife, he finds good. Find good. A man finds a wife, find good. See, when you are a man or a woman who has such a personality that exudes goodness, you help people, you are such a good person, very good person. Do you know what happens? People begin to refer you to everybody. There are some people that when you meet, the way they are personal, the way they love people, the way they are committed, you even pray in your heart that somebody in your family will get married to them because they're such a good people. Some of you are notorious for being evil. You are always in a fight. All the gossip in the church, you are involved. The manipulation, you are involved. The slander, you are involved. The behavior that is wrong, you are involved. You are not a good person. You are not good. You are always emotional. You are so sensitive. You are not stable. We don't know when you're going to blow up. You're always angry. There's something wrong. If you find a wife, how do you know he's a wife? He's good. He's bringing some goodness into your life. Are you a good person? Now, this can even be under the connotation of transformation. Are you a good person? Some of you are not good at all. The way you are right now, if you get into the marriage, you'll be fighting with your mother-in-law. You will fight with your brothers and sisters. You are trying to sabotage the family relationship. You are going to take the man as a hostage and not allow him to even relate with anybody because you are too needy. You are dangerous for marriage. You are not a good person, and somebody has to tell you. Somebody has to tell you the truth that the only thing you have is a good body. Yes, you are beautiful. Yeah. You are shaping Coca-Cola body though, but you are not a good person. Everybody knows in the church that you are not good. And if somebody comes into your life, they can't refer you to anybody because your personality is detrimental to a good relationship. You're going to find out that when you're getting close to somebody, even the people who know you will go to the person and say, be careful, this girl, we know she slept with everybody in the church. By the time you realize the guy doesn't want to look at your face anymore because you are not a good person. So ask yourself the question. The question is, are you good enough for somebody to refer you? Let me ask you this question. Are you really good for somebody to refer you? And if they are going to refer you, what kind of goodness have you exhibited, demonstrated to help people to the extent that they will refer you to somebody else? If you were good, somebody will call somebody in Africa and say, listen, I have this lady over. She's such a good woman. Please, we need somebody to get married to her. They will be doing campaign for you. But you're in a club. Look at the kind of clothes you are wearing. Your body protruding through the clothes. And you say you want marriage in every party you are there. Shaking what your mama gave you. Somebody has to tell you, oh, you're all over the place. You are not good. You are not good. So and some of the men are dangerously bad. Very dangerous. They are not truthful. They are not transparent. They are slanderous. They are much more even gossiping men. They are not good. If a man is a liar right now, he will become dangerously a liar in the relationship. So you need to really ask yourself, do you have such a personality that everybody's talking about? That, wow, this guy is such a nice guy. He's such an honorable man. He's such a man who fears the Lord, committed, dedicated. Look at the way he dresses, how he carries himself. He's honorable, submissive. He knows how to talk well. Nowadays, we have churchgoers, but we don't have a lot of good people. Are you good? All right, let's talk about the next point because I have to close. The next point is this. The Bible says, house and riches are from fathers, but the prudent wife is from the Lord. House and riches are from fathers, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. That means God is saying he gets involved in giving prudent wife or husband to a woman or a man. Prudent wife is from the Lord. And so if you want a prudent wife, then please God with your life, with your behavior. And God is saying that when you do it, he will sovereignly orchestrate circumstance and place in your life a prudent wife. It's from the Lord. And some of you are addicted to the woman than the pursuit of your God. The reason you go to the church with your x-ray eyes, trying to look through their clothes and look at their body with all the filthy imagination is because you are there for a woman. The reason why you are dedicated to the church is because you are there to catch a woman. After all the things you'll be doing as you want a church girl. That is why you're in the church. But the Bible says a prudent woman. Oh, hallelujah. Some of you are going to say, Pastor Manto, can I share the truth? A prudent woman is from the Lord. And so the pursuit of God, the passionate pursuit of God will literally get you into a place that God will orchestrate circumstances and place the person in your life. All right? And so you cannot live in sin and do things that is contrary to the expectation of God and get the marriage of prudency, a marriage that is according to God's standard. It will not happen. Some of you have already been sleeping with the girl and the man that you are with right now, and you're thinking you're going to have a white wedding. You might deceive everybody that is a white wedding. You should have been wearing a black wedding clothes, not white, because the lifestyle you guys have been living behind this. Yeah, I know you are church goers, but there is nothing about your life that talks about holiness, and you think you're getting away with it. That's why there are many people who get into marriage and before they got into there, but there's no purity. There has been a whole lot of infiltration of demons who enter into the marriage relationship. Why? Because they were doing things behind the scenes that was not pure. But a prudent wife is from the Lord. How many of you understand that it's not you pursuing the man and the woman? Pursue God passionately, fulfilling your destiny, your calling, your pursuing, and literally delivering the value of your goodness. And God is saying that I will give you the right person. A prudent wife is from the Lord. And so when you come to H Academy, listen, I'm going to deal with it prophetically. We're going to locate all the sins you've been committing, and we're going to adjust you and deal with you, and I'll rebuke you, position you, refine you, mentor you. Because you see, it's about time we live a moral lifestyle. Right now, there's no absolute. People are doing a heavy petting. People are into oral sex. Some of them are into some strange things. We can't even talk about it right here. And they are in the church. We're talking about praise and worship, intercessors, and men and women of God, people sitting in the pew, and it's a rampant explosion of immorality. Because we don't want to talk about it, and the mere fact that the concept of the entertainment of the church is going on well, and the preaching is excellent with the cliches and the oratory, we really don't care. And so you see people exuding lust in the church with everything protruding out of their body. Nobody cares because nobody wants to address it. But a prudent wife, if you want a good marriage, chase God. Chase God. And when you chase God, God will surprise you. And you will understand what I'm talking about. So I've been talking about why many people in our churches are not married yet. Why they are still waiting and hoping and wishing. Now I'm going to add one more point, because I think I need to talk about this and I'll close. One more point. See, one of the things you have to also understand is this. If you are not willing to get out of your comfort zone, you will not be able to transcend the limitation of your zone to access what God has purposed for you. Some of you have decided you have a standard that was not given to you by God. I remember when I found my wife and we're just about to get married. She told me about the list that she had. I know she's going to say, honey, why are you talking about my business right here? She told me about her list. She had a whole list of the kind of man that she wants to get married to. And the list was the guy must be fair colored. If you look at me, do I look fair colored? No. He must be tall, 6 feet, the muscular. He must be. I'm telling you, some craziness. I know my wife is going to say, I'm going to get you now. Craziness. And thank God when I showed up, I fulfilled some of the list. God fearing, passionate for God, have a vision, have destiny, responded to my call. There were some things that was of value to God. And on that list, God answered that particularly. But to do with the vanity of you being 6 feet and muscular. Now, you're muscular? Yes, I was muscular. Now I'm getting a little bit of pop belly. We don't have to go to the gym. But muscular, yes, I was. But what I'm trying to say is this. There are some things that you need to really look at. Some of you will never marry out of your ethnicity. You will never get into interracial relationship just because I'm a black woman, so I need to marry a black man. No, who told you that? Where did you get that from? Why will you restrict yourself? Now I'll go to the next one. Sometimes God will have to remove you from the locality that you are in to another region so you can find your mate. When I finished school, I was in London, England. I was a student. I was going to school in London, England, and I was working over there. It is so interesting. I met a lot of beautiful, nice women in London, and interestingly, God never wanted me to marry any of them. I mean, I didn't have no desire for even marriage. And God moved me from London, England, took me back to Ghana, West Africa. And when I went to Ghana, West Africa, and I responded to my calling, that is when I met my wife. Why would God move me to Ghana? Met my wife in Ghana, and then we all came to America to come and live. So what I'm trying to let you understand, don't you ever think that the scarcity of men and women in your locality, that means that it's going to be difficult for you to find the mate that God has ordained for you. Sometimes you need to, that's what Abraham did. Abraham sent his servant to go to outside of Canaan, to go to his family to find Rebekah for Isaac. Sometimes you need to transcend your comfort zone to locate the person that God has ordained for you. So what am I saying? We must have strategies and concepts, innovation, tools. And right now, because of internet, there's no shortage of tools. In H Academy, I'm going to literally position you and put your branding together. Yes, you need to be branded as a person. You must have the right concept, or literally extending your value beyond the vicinity of your locality. You must transcend the limitations of your vicinity. Maybe your mate is in Australia and you are in England. Maybe your mate is in Africa and you are in USA. Maybe your mate is somewhere but it's not in the locality that you are in. What are you going to do? Your brand must transcend your locality. You must be able to do some goodness that is beyond the deficiency in your locality. What I'm saying is to you is this: you need to get out of your comfort zone if you are going to find the person that God has ordained for you. Listen to me very carefully. Today, I want you to know the waiting must be over. If you follow the principles that I'm teaching in H Academy, I'm telling you, you will get married. I promise you, you will find yourself with a mate this year, and it is your choice if you want to get married this year or next year. You will find the right way, because I'm going to equip you, prepare you, mentor you, take you through entrepreneurial consultation, literally cause your value to be excavated out of you. You become so irresistible that the person will beg you to get married to you, because what you carry, he or she can't find anywhere. And you are somebody who you are intentional. You are very strategic. You know how to market yourself in the right context of your value. You know how to rightly position yourself to be able to exude the goodness of God within you. You know how to release goodness so that you activate referrals all around you. You know how to attract the right kind of people. While this is going on, your destiny, your purpose, your calling, the value in you is also being excavated. You are building value. If this is what you want, then you need to join H Academy. It is something that is going to help you. I'll mentor you, I'll equip you, I'll prepare you. You're going to get everything you need to be successful in H Academy. So I want to talk about H Academy right now. H Academy is for singles. It's for singles. H Academy is prepared to literally look at your life to find out what has become the obstacle, the hindrances, what the limitation, those things that has obstructed you from coming into the place of positioning yourself right for the relationship that God has ordained for you. And so you are going to learn a whole lot of things in H Academy. You're going to find out the purpose of marriage. You're going to find out who is the one, where can you locate the person, how to be able to excavate, transform your potential into value. That means you're not getting into the relationship with nothing in your hands. I'm going to teach you how to be able to translate your talents into income, how to be able to project and find out what God has ordained for, how to map out your destiny so that it will literally be a match to the person that God is bringing into your life. So H Academy is very, very important. If you are going to be able to come to a place where you really, really, really are serious to get married, then you need to join H Academy. Now, you can register in H Academy on this. I've put the information on the screen. It's crusaders.biz/H Singles Academy Program. You can get that on our website. Just register. It is not that expensive. You're going to get the mentorship. You're going to get the training. You're going to get the refining. You're going to go through a systematic plan, an intentional strategy. The waiting must be over. Don't sit down and keep on waiting for good things to happen to you. That is not the mind of God. He that findeth a wife findeth good. You must be finding. And the way God wants you to find has nothing to do. I'm not talking about you parading yourself in the clouds and shaking what your mama gave you in every other party and running around like all over the place trying to find them. No. The way God expects us to find them is completely unique, completely different. You find that out when it comes to H Academy. I'm going to teach you. So you are going to have a plan. You're going to have a strategy. You will literally determine the kind of person you want before you find the person. You are not just going to accept any Tom, Dick, and Harry that shows up. If you really want to get married this year, don't just sit there, whine and complain and sulk in your loneliness anymore. You have to do something with your life. So if you're interested, register. The information is on the screen. register for H Academy, or if you are struggling or you're trying to figure out how to register, inbox me and I'll get my team to talk to you. We'll take you through a first interview to be sure that you are qualified. We don't just want to accept. So if you're interested, inbox me, and definitely I will prepare you, I will equip you, I'll give you all the necessary tools for you to get married. Now, let me just recap on what I just shared today. For you to find the right mate, for you to be married, one, you must be intentional. You must be finding. You must make up your mind. You must have a blueprint, a GPS, something that is absolutely connected to your destiny to help you to locate the person who can connect with you as the right partner for marriage. So you definitely have to find. Sitting there passively will not help you. Number two, are you getting me? Number two, you must be transformed. A man findeth the wife, find it good. So if you are not transformed, forget it. A virtuous woman who can find, for a virtuous woman who can find, the who is necessary. You must be transformed. If you don't have value enough to be able to evaluate what is before you and know that the person is somebody you can't do without, you are not ready for marriage. A person of value. You have to be changed. All right. Number three, we were talking about price. For her price is far above. What value do you bring to the table? What value do you bring to the marriage partnership? Because nobody gets into business partnership until the other partner is bringing something that will cause the business to go to the next dimension. Some of you have no value at all. The only thing you are bringing to the table is your body. Sex, good body. No. What price do you have? So make sure that you have a price. Then we talked about, I think I'm going to add one point before I close. Then we talked about spirituality. We spoke about there are some people who are already connected to spirits because of covenants of their family, or maybe they slept around in the past and they are so tired that has not been broken. That must be dealt with. If it's not dealt with, the demons will oppress you. Even when you are very close to the marriage, you find yourself misbehaving and doing things to break the relationship because you are under spiritual attack, oppression. You are under the influence of witchcraft. Something is happening to you. And people come into you, you have not done nothing, but the time you realize they get rid of you. You don't understand. It's become a repetition, a routine now. You need to go for deliverance. You need help. And in H Academy, I'll take everybody through deliverance. We'll pray for you, break every satanic oracle and decrees upon your life. We'll cast out all these demons that has become solical tied to you so that you can be free. So we'll deal with that. It's in H Academy. Then we began to talk about a prudent wife is from the Lord. That means you must have a good relationship with God. When you are connected to God, when you are related to God, something happens. A prudent wife is from the Lord. So pursue God instead of chasing the woman. If you pursue God, and as you're pursuing God and fulfilling your calling, being obedient to Him and responding to Him, God will orchestrate circumstances and situations to place that woman into your path. And by the time you realize you have a prudent wife or a husband. Now, this is what I did not see. And let me say it and I'll close. The Bible says in Peter, I think First Peter, Second Peter, the Bible says that you husbands dwell with your wife in knowledge. Husbands, dwell with your wife in knowledge. Now, it's so interesting. He never said, husband, dwell with your wife in love. No, he never said. He said, dwell with them with knowledge. That means there must be a knowledge that is necessary for the dwelling. If you don't have that information, you get into relationship, you love your mate, but it's not going to be healthy for you. You are going to find out that you are healthy, but you are in love, but in loveness is not going to literally guarantee the sustainability of the marriage. What sustains a marriage is not love, it is knowledge, information. Have you assimilated that knowledge into your behavior? You must have that knowledge. How do you treat your husband? You don't know it. How do you reconcile when there is a conflict? How do you partner? What is the responsibility of the man and the woman? There must be a knowledge that you possess before you enter into the marriage. Because you can't dwell with your wife if you are devoid of that knowledge. You must have, without that knowledge, the Bible says, my people perish. You must have the right godly knowledge for you to dwell well. The reason why many marriages are struggling in the body of Christ is not because they didn't love each other when they got into the relationship. They still love each other, but the lack of knowledge on how to relate and treat each other according to the standard of God has opened them up to a lot of plagues from the devil. So in H Academy, we are going to talk about what must you do to possess that knowledge that is necessary to dwell well. Are you understand what I'm talking about? You must know. If you don't have that knowledge, I promise you'll be sure that the love alone will not secure the relationship. There are many people who still love their mates, but the moment they dwell together in the house, there's going to be a fight. When the man lives in another house and the woman lives alone, they are okay. But the moment they dwell together, there's always a fight, because they don't have the knowledge that is necessary for them to dwell together. So Peter says, let the husband dwell together with the wife, with knowledge. There is a knowledge you need to possess. And so that knowledge will be taught, will be equipping, mentoring you, preparing you for that in H Academy. I know you've been blessed, you have been equipped, you've been enriched. Thank you so much for spending this time with me to share the word of the living God. I know you've been touched by God. And so those of you who are interested to join H Academy, the information is on the screen. Make sure that you register, you join me, and we are going to start immediately. We are starting H Academy immediately. So if you've been blessed, please make sure you register, join, and then I will literally prepare you. We're going to meet once a week, but there are going to be a lot of mentorship during the week. So if you are interested, register, and definitely I'm going to train, equip you, prepare you, and make sure that this year you find a mate that God has ordained for you. You are not going to be passive no more. You are not going to sit down and wait for your luck. No, you must take the step. You must have a constructive plan. You must have a strategy to be able to implement to find a mate this year. It's enough. It's enough. You sitting there waiting for your moment. You have to create your own opportunities. You have to determine to locate the person. There's no business that wants a partner who will sit down and waiting for a partner for the business. No. Anybody who owns a business who wants a partner must have a strategy. He must have something that he utilizes to scrutinize to find the person who is a good partner for the business. That is what you need to be doing. You must find your business partner, your marriage partner. You must get out there and locate the person that God has ordained for you. In H Academy, will help you to get the right partner. God bless you. This is Randolph Mante, the facilitator and the president of H Singles Academy. God bless you. Until next time, bye-bye.